Hello and welcome to Catan with Alistair. So I'm Alistair, and today this is our third Catan Championship League game. I'll tell you about my second game quickly. I lost. It was close, but the numbers didn't roll the way I wanted them to do. They never do. Okay, but yeah, okay. So today, green places on the 8-4-10. I kind of like that. But I just think getting the good wheat now is really what you have to do now. I like the sheep port, but the 3-for-1 ports are highly underrated, especially with a 12-point pick. That's a lot of production, and so it looks like all of a tiny bit too much wood, and so I can port that into whatever I want, and I don't have to place on the 6-9-3 to get the wood port or the 6-3. But yeah, I think the 6-9-3 is pretty good, except the fact that you have too much sheep, way too much sheep, and I don't agree with that. I think maybe the 6-3-11, or I just don't know. I guess maybe if he had placed 8-4-3, he gets okay. But sorry for monologuing, but I think the 10-5-9 would have been better for blue, but purple gets a monster setup with or actually not a monster, but a pretty good one, because they have ore and they have the brick port for their 5 and 9, and they get an okay amount of sheep and wheat. Just 11 and 12 wheat is actually like equivalent to like 4 wheat. I might even rank it higher though, just because two numbers means if at least like one of them might roll in a game. But yeah, so here I place on the 6-3-11. While the 6-5 would complete all my resources and stuff, I think starting with more ore, and I just like my chances of getting on the 6-5 a lot more than purple's chances. I think maybe the 6-5 might have actually been the correct pick, but I think then green might have taken the 6-3-11 instead, which would have been much better for them, because that would have gotten them more sheep than the 9, and also get them on a different ore tile. So yeah, the game begins. My goal is to get on the 6-5 right now. So yeah. So right here I roll a 7. I think Dino Dirt, which is purple, is in the best position, and he also has a brick, so that's a plus. And I think green will have a really slow start until they get the sheep port, and so I want to block the people who can get a fast start. So no one has a brick apparently, and so I get a development card. Just to not 7 out, plus like to defend myself if I get a knight or something, which I do. So right here, unfortunately, purple has to discard a lot of cards, which probably was his only chance at road settling onto the 5-6. If that hadn't rolled, I probably might not have gotten it. So yeah, I think I don't have to rob from him anymore, and instead have to rob from blue, just with so much stuff. But I still want to block. I still want to affect more players, just because everyone's looking quite strong. Like, I don't think blue is going to be very hard for him to do a lot of things, but you kind of have to block the leader just to bring him back into the pack a little. But yeah, so it turns out green does this trade, which will hurt him eventually. I'll tell you about that in a second. So I do the trade. I'm just thinking. I do the trade, and I poured all the wood for a brick and build a settlement. So now he rolls a 7, and green has to discard half his cards. So that trade was not very good for him. In terms of the sheep, didn't really do anything for him. I guess he probably could have ported it for like a brick or something, or a wheat. But yeah. The only way green can get off the ground is getting the port, so that really hurts them. So yeah. They block the 6, which I think is okay because it cuts off my sheep. But they are forced to steal from purple because I don't have any cards, which is great. So it looks like blue is trying to build onto the 5. I think that's a really smart play. So here I play the knight before I roll the dice, just because that is my only sheep source, and I really want my sheep open. So I steal a brick and a 5 rolls. Right now I'm looking for wood or sheep. And if anyone does this trade though, like, I don't know if should be trading me. But the crazy thing is that people trade me a road settle. But I think though this trade helps me. But the other thing it does though is that it helps green. And green really needs to get on the sheep port to even do anything. So they build the road. Can they get the settlement? They're looking for wood and brick. They do not. They get a development card instead. And no one wants to trade with me. Except for maybe purple, which I do. Get a knight. I don't know why he wants wood. Oh, because he doesn't have wood. So I guess it's quite good since he needs to get on the brick board. So the 5 rolls twice, and the brick's blocked, unfortunately. So on that turn, I get a city on the 8-5-10, which is super powerful. I have 2 knights down. I have 5. I did 3 for 1 port. I have a great longest road potential. I really think I've got this one pretty close in the bag. Just because unless like it's really hard to catch up with me, I would say blue might be in the best position to do it, or purple. It's just that I already have the city and I already have 2 knights down, and that's really hard to compete with. And so yeah. People are still trading with me, which is quite surprising. And I trade with them. And people are still trading with me, which is, I think, kind of crazy, and I don't think you should be trading with me. Because what this does right here is helps me build 2 roads onto the powerful 3-4-11. The reason I didn't build on the 8 was like I couldn't, and I think the 4-3-11's great just because I get the extra wheat, and I get the more they can't block both of my wheat sources. And wheat is very important because right now I want a couple roads to secure longest road and development cards in longest road, or development cards in cities, which need wheat. And yeah, they keep blocking me. I think the 10's a pretty reasonable block. And so yeah, every single time people get like close, I like the 7 rolls, which is really unfortunate. I don't know why he didn't do anything that turn, but maybe he couldn't do anything because the brick isn't rolling. But I don't know. So there's a bunch of cards discarded here, which is quite good for me. Okay, so he blocks the 5 wheat. I think that is the best block you can have because that wheat is really essential, and I think the 3 ore is too weak. So the 6 is rolling like crazy. Let's see if blue or anyone else can pull something off. I really think, though, the biggest competitor right now is definitely, and I say definitely, green. Because they have a city and they have the sheep port. They have a ton of stuff. So right here I bought a development card to protect my army. And I think if I win army road, I win this game. And so all I have to do is build. Now I have to build a couple roads because he took that. And so all I need to do is play a knight. And I'm at 8. So right here, what I need is... Yeah, they stole my wood, which is unfair, and I just keep getting stolen from. So right here, I just hold. So I have to discard. And I think he's going to block. Yeah, everyone is just stealing from me like crazy now. And so now I have the win in hand. And unless I roll a 7. And GG. Game's over. Well, yeah. I'm about to do this to port for 2 more roads. I actually didn't have the win in hand before, but now I have to build a couple more roads. And I win the game. So I think one thing we can, I guess, learn is I use that 3-for-1 port a ton, actually, to do a lot of things. And, like, if you saw me buy a development card, I ported 3 sheep and 3 wood to get the development card. And I think that's the beauty of the 3-for-1 port. You can use it for anything. And the other thing that's really crazy, though, is that with whatever combination of 7 cards you have, you can always build something, whether it be a road, a development card, a city, or a settlement. Like, if you run out of roads or don't have room to build a settlement, that's, like, understandable. But, I mean, you can always, with 7 cards, you can always build something that's really helpful to get below 7 cards. Well, thank you for watching. Please comment below your thoughts and ideas, suggestions, what I should do for a video. And yeah, please like and subscribe if you like this. Bye.